And he was pretty cool the way he said. He talked about a lot of his buddies that served as well, and they get kind of mad when people are out celebrating and not pay attention. But he said also, he said, listen, I went over and fought for my country so that my kids and my grandkids could have that.
You know, I understand that. I think there's two ways to look at it. Obviously, happy Memorial Day because it's you know, it also signifies the beginning of the summer season, so to speak.
Yeah.
But we still have to remember, and we all do.
Yeah.
Memorialize.
Yeah, it is important. No, you're right.
And I think those guys will tell you, if you want to honor my service or honor the ones that lost their lives, be somebody worth fighting for.
Yeah. And again, not just one day a year too. That's a 365.
Exactly.
So just to, you know, people don't know Jason Redman. He's got famous, got badly wounded. Was in the hospital, and he's a retired. He's a SEAL, wasn't he? Yep. And then, so people were coming in feeling sorry for him, and he and his wife wrote this poster, and I'll post it every once in a while. Maybe I should post it today, actually. And he basically saying, listen, if you're going to go walk in this room, don't be coming in here sad and feeling sorry for me. I'm going to get better, and then I'm going to get a 20% better. It's a fantastic poster. So,
it's an amazing poster. He's an amazing dude.
Yeah. Speaks really well. Like he does a lot of podcasting and stuff too.
Yeah.
So
He's swimming this year.
Oh, is he in the
swimming? I think this will be his third or fourth one. Yeah.
Oh, is that right? I'm gonna meet him. What a fantastic person. Yeah.
Really, he's a very nice guy.
We talked about this before the show. You're not big on going to the gym. Fitness is obviously a huge part of your life, but you're not really big on going to the gym.
And it's for no other reason, Tom, that just decades in there. Just kind of,
I know. Yeah.
Instead
of being outside where it's nice and healthy, get out in the sun.
And we've talked about this a lot, but my workouts aren't what I did when I was, a kid.
Yeah.
I'm not squatting heavy. I'm not deadlifting. I'm not doing any of that.
Yeah.
So what I do is more
so we just need to address Susan here. Where'd she go? Okay. I don't know why that's doing that. Why is that doing that, Susan? So
no, that's Susan. I have to go somewhere today for a friend of mine's having us over, so we have to be there a little earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
Why is that popped up there like that? It's usually on the bottom screen. All right. So
there's an elephant in the room.
Yeah. What is going on? See, we talked about the universes.
Weird
put that thumb up.
There you go.
See if we can get the thumb.
I think it only works on my end. But.
Yeah. What is that all about here? All right. Huh? Why is that doing that? All right. We'll fix that later. Okay, so Rangers win big game yesterday. So here's my thing. Here's our buddy Keith Morano.
There's my
What's up, brother?
What's going on, bud?
The Rangers had stretches there, like particularly in the second period, I thought where they did not play great. But what I think they did well is even when they weren't playing well and Florida was kind of buzzing around in their zone, they basically kept them to the outside most of the time too. It wasn't like there was some good chances, but. Yeah. And of course, Shesterkin was Shesterkin again. It's amazing, right? To him play that great, letting in 4 goals. That one shot to tie the game at 4-4 from the Florida guy. That was a nice shot.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's rewind. How many times did we talk about trading Alex Lafreniere?
Well, I'll tell you what. The first goal was just crazy.
Yeah.
The second one was just as good.
Oh, that dangling, the second one there where he went through the guys, the toe drag and everything. And he just, like sometimes when a guy makes that play, you think, well, geez, that's a little lucky, he has to get a good bounce. It was on a stick the whole time. There was no luck involved.
And that backhand going across your body, backhand top cheese. That's not such
isn't it's amazing, right? Like I'd like to say that we told you so kind of mentality, but you don't know for sure with players, but that's why the patience is so important, right?
Yeah. Even with Capo, I mean,
I
just don't think he ever had enough traction. Got into a rhythm because he keeps getting hurt and different things.
Yeah. And he got sat out game 2 or game 2, right? Then he came back, looked like he wasn't soaking or anything yesterday. He was playing hard. So,
he went out there and did his thing.
Yeah. Okay. We have to talk about Keandre Miller.
Yeah. Tough day for Keandre.
Yeah. And okay, so there's the 2 plays that Ray Ferraro pointed out in the second period there, back-to-back penalty kills where he turned the puck over. Now the first one, that's your play as a defenseman. You've got to rim it around the boards there, because you don't want to lose the puck deep in your zone. So you're hoping that either it's going to be hard enough to get out, or you've got a winger up there that's going to help you get the puck out. That did not happen, but it's more like after the play, after he makes that turnover, then really you got to be like a force. Like he just seems like I like him a lot. He's showed in the past what a skilled player he is. He really needs to be that more decisive guy, right?
Yeah, when he plays stiff, he's a much better player. But when he tries to play it safe,
like
you said, a physical thing, like you make the pass doesn't connect, that's going to happen. But what do you do after that? Like you're saying, how do you react to that?
Yeah.
And you got to. He just seemed lost yesterday. He got caught up ice a whole bunch of times.
Yeah. And they were doing their best. Like after that second turnover, they put him right back on the ice again. They didn't let him step. And I thought that was a really good play because they need him to play, right? If they lose him mentally. Yeah.
When he plays, when he's on his game, he's really effective. And he's a force. He's offensively, because he was a forward most of it. I think that he started playing D when he went to University of Michigan. Yeah,
like I think it's like 6 years now that he's been playing D. And that's, you remember, like I started playing defense when I was 6 years old. So I didn't turn pro until I was like 21, 22 years old. So that's 15 years of learning the craft of playing defense. He's done it.
That's one thing I always keep in the back of my mind when I think about him is that he's still learning.
Yeah, definitely. He just, and again, he seems like a great kid. I've only met him once briefly. Seems like a great person. I mean, just again, he'd like them to be a little bit.
You know who would have been great for him is Larry Robinson.
Yeah.
He'd have been great for him.
Yeah. He does those little things like you'd like to see him too. And I know the game has changed now, but there's times guys go to hit him and he steps out of the way instead of he's 6'6" or whatever he is out there. Like just get that stick in the back of the arms or something like that to keep him away. Yeah.
And again, I'm going to sound, but it's true. I'm old school, but the referee. I mean, come on.
Well, even like Trouba's elbow there.
Well, certain angles look like you got an attack.
Yeah.
Or the neck.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like that roughing on I mean, what do you do? He just turned the guy.
I know. Yeah. That was, that was a Rempy penalty. That was because who he is.
Yeah.
No question.
And just overall, I mean, I go back and I was watching some older games from like 78, 77.
No, yeah, I know. That was just a backhand slap thing.
Hack and whack and spear.
You can tell if they're watching everything he does. If there's any kind of high hit or anything.
Basically commit a crime to get a penalty back then.
Yeah.
And that's what you want in the playoffs. You want the guy to play on edge or play tough.
Yeah, they were showing a video this morning of Messier in one Pittsburgh game in the playoffs and threw about 10 elbows in one shift. It's like, you know what I like about Trouba? You don't want him taking penalties. You want him on the ice and he plays hard. But I tell you, if you're a player on the other team and you know you're out there against Trouba, okay,
keep your head up.
Yeah, it's coming.
Better keep your head up.
Yeah. And that's cool. That's a cool thing to have. You don't know how much that changes the game, right? If you're a player,
huge.
Yeah, you're thinking, oh God, where's Trouba? Is he coming? Because he goes all over the place looking for the hits too. Yeah.
It takes your focus off the puck and puts it on survival.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
He's a big man too. Yeah. I like it. You know what? If you're going to take penalties, sometimes you're going to take penalties. Take one that matters. Yeah.
Yeah.
What we got here? Okay. Would be nice if McDonough had the right players taking the shot. Oh, I know. He said Gustafsson when the winning goal at Gustafsson when it was Lindgren that shot the winning goal. I like that. Yeah, I like the kid that scores. I can't Weinberg or whatever. He had scored like 30 games or whatever, and then he scores the winner. Yeah, that's cool.
And that lifts the whole team up.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. I really like this team because genuinely you can see when somebody does something good, the rest of the guys are really excited about it. And that's the thing. I mean, they played some of the worst hockey yesterday. They played in all the playoffs, but they won. Yeah.
And their top guys are producing nothing, and they still won.
How about Gaudreau? He's a man. I like him. Him and Lindgren are my guys. Well, I like Kreider too, but Gaudreau's just got that thing about him. Right? He's a winner.
Hockey player.
Yeah. How about Trocheck too? Why he's a beast, Trocheck. Yeah. I didn't realize how good he was. Yeah. Oh, my old college roommate, Don Waddell, who had been president and GM of the Carolina Hurricanes, he resigned. I don't know if the news is broken yet, but he will be just fine. I was kind of surprised. I was going to call him with condolences, but he told me what was going on, and he
was checking his bank account.
Yeah, no kidding. He's getting a healthy raise going someplace else. It should be announced sometime this week, I think.
Didn't he start in Atlanta?
Started in Atlanta, yes. His path was pretty interesting. So obviously we played in Northern Michigan together. He then went. He played in the International League. Lost his eye or hurt his eye. Oh. Yeah, and so he took over the team. I think coach and GM. I think at some point, and he started his own porta potty business, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, sold that, and then went down to I think was he in Orlando, Florida? I think first.
Yeah.
In the International League. Then he went down to San Diego. Then I think did he go someplace as assistant GM first? I think he went right into Atlanta as GM and started that program. There was there.
It's interesting to see how different, even football, like the kid that coaches Miami, he was a ball boy.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how some guys.
Yeah.
I mean, John Cooper down in Tampa, wasn't he a lacrosse coach or something?
Yeah, he wasn't a player. Yeah. He started coaching.
Hockey.
Yeah.
Well, coaching's coaching. I mean, He's
It
dealing
is really.
with
It-
personalities and
And I think Cooper's a good example. I'm sure he's a smart guy, X's and O's wise, but when I see him, he's more of a personality guy, right? He knows the ego is involved, and he's more managing the ego. So that's a big part of it. Because guys get to that level, all the Type A personalities, they want to be part of the club, right? They don't want to be sitting on the bench.
I know we want Rangers to win, obviously, but you got to like Paul Maurice.
He's pretty funny. He's great in
Yeah.
press conferences. Yeah.
He's really
They
good.
asked him about the penalty, and he says, "I think I've got enough going on with my coaching. I don't need to worry about refereeing games." Yeah,
And
he's
then
good.
the other game, well, nobody got arrested yet. So
Yeah, I saw that. Yes, he's good. I think he's gotten more confident in himself. I don't think he was like that as much when he was younger. Now he's gotten more. He's into it more.
And
I think he's got.
Brind'Amour was good too. I mean,
Yeah.
so these guys you'd want to play for.
Yeah,
Either one of
no
them.
kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Brind'Amour signed a new contract there too, right in
Did he?
Carolina. Yeah, there's some rumors that he could go someplace else. They were talking about Seattle because of the Ron Francis connection. But
what about Sheldon O'Keefe going to New Jersey? I mean,
so if I'm New Jersey, I'm thinking, what has he done to show that he's a
exactly.
good coach? Yeah,
That he gets another chance to grab the ring.
yeah, and he's kind of like that soft, pretty boy. I hate to say it like that, but same thing with that Jim Montgomery. Yeah, God, he's really, and he's not even coaching anymore right now. But
I think from where I see, I think New Jersey would have been better off with a guy like a Maurice or somebody with a hard personality, where you got a bunch of kids, it's a young team, and you got a superstar with Hughes, so you could build something. But this guy, I don't know.
I know.
I don't even know if it's a lateral move.
Well, yeah, I just don't. Again, what are you making your decision on too? Like, he's not done anything. He had all those great players in Toronto. He couldn't get past with the first round, right?
And that's it. And they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of great players.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens in Toronto too. Like, I'm a big believer. I don't think you're going to win when you got Marner and Matthews on the team. Either one of them. I just don't think that they're. Craig Berube. I mean, there's only so much the coach can do. Like, everybody's saying he's going to come in and be the hard ass, and get them going. Well, Matthews is making $14 million a year or whatever, and I think he's on the last year of his contract coming up, and he's a free agent again. So it's like he's saying, "Well, screw you. If you're going to yell at me, I'm going to leave and go someplace else." Huh?
Well, that's where it begins and ends. I mean,
Yeah.
the players make so much money now.
Yeah.
And they know the coaching is temporary. That if you're at that elite level like Matthews or Marner, that guy will be gone before you are.
So here's a big subject too. We were touching on it in a couple of my podcasts. So now we're gonna have a team in Salt Lake City where polygamy is legal now for a couple years. So so we've got to they got to tell me that some player, like, if I is thinking to myself, okay, let me get this straight. I know now you can say, well, one wife is enough, or maybe more than enough. Now you're gonna have 7 or 8 wives. Interesting.
Yeah.
You think
Are you gonna have them all? Are they gonna be in one location, or are you going to split them up all over the place?
So here's the thing too. So you plan this out. So you get the 7 wives out put together, and then now you get traded to New York, and you say to yourself, okay, well, I'll ship in one at a time.
You're rotating.
Yeah. So it's like you're having affairs, but you're really in an open marriage. You've got multiple women, right? Come on, you know how hockey players think.
Oh yeah,
it's got to happen.
Well, it's usually their wife's name. Not all the time, but you get a lot of cinnamon and champagne. First name is
Destiny.
Destiny.
Over on stage left. Over on
exactly.
Stage number 2.
She's not divorcing you. She's just moving to another table. God bless them. Whatever.
Hockey players and dancers.
Yeah, seems to be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're both in entertainment.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. And then they're comfortable working in front of people.
And they got to be in great shape.
Yep. You're right. There's a lot of similarities there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Short careers, because you can't dance forever, right? Whoever thought of like dancing, like stripping, like how long? You know a lot of stuff. I mean, was that like a couple of 100 years ago? Somebody said, "Listen,
I don't know the history of it, but it starts off when you're a kid playing doctor."
Okay.
And it just evolves from there.
And then somebody thinks, okay, well, I can get paid for doing this. There's probably some guy that said, okay, I'll open up a place where girls can get up on stage and dance, and I'm going to make money off that.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's been various. So there used to be a place in New Jersey. All the guys went there for lunch. Food was good.
Right.
It wasn't a strip place, but the women were all gorgeous. So it's pretty smart.
Oh, okay.
Packed all the time. Yeah.
There's a place in my hometown.
Men are pretty simple.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
Beautiful women. You're not going to lose. Yeah.
There's a place called the Sword and Shield in Brampton, Ontario. Legendary place. And we would, I don't know, for whatever reason, we would pick Thursday afternoon in high school. And a whole bunch of us would drive down there in the afternoon. So speaking of school, we'd drive down.
Well, it was a sex education
Yes, you know what? You're a positive human being. You can always find something good in things.
Yeah.
And we'd sit there and drink the draft beers for like 25 cents a draft, and then eat the hard-boiled eggs, the pickled eggs or whatever. Oh man, the sparks coming home. And for whatever reason, we had to get back. Yeah, we had to get back to school before we could leave. We had to like check out or something like that. So we were in class and we'd been sitting there drinking beer. The smell from the farts. Oh God. Oh
man, that's bad.
Yes. Eddie Leonard has been fine since coming back. Has had scoring chances. Oh, Eddie Leonard. So has been Eddie Leonard. Yeah. Susan's on it too. Susan was at the viewing party at Central Park yesterday too.
Yeah, that looked cool.
Yeah, didn't it look cool? They had all the blankets laid out on the grass and everything for people to sit on. Oh, Ben.
Did you go? Were you there?
No, I was at. I forgot about this. I was at the New York City Gay Hockey Association had their banquet. What an event that is! There's some fun people there. They opened the bar up and they're whooping and hollering. They're having fun.
I think that's at Chelsea Pierce.
Chelsea Pierce, yep. Chelsea Pierce, yep. Sunset Terrace. Very cool. Great people. I've been there 3 years in a row now. So they're like, hey, Tom, what's happening? So, yeah. There's some great outfits there, too. Wow.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
I got to tell you, I don't know if I want to make sure I say this properly. That group of people, they're fun to hang around with. They cut it loose. They're having a blast.
Last week when Beth ran that half marathon, it was called the Superhero Half.
Mm-hmm.
So there were a lot of people in costume.
Oh.
So a lot of Superman, Wonder Woman. One dude ran like Clark Kent with the glasses and suit on and everything like that. Pretty cool. Yeah,
I love that stuff. Even they had me go to the Gay Pride Parade too in Manhattan. That's an event. Oh my God, the streets are packed.
Oh, you went last year, right?
Yes, yeah. I think it's three. This will be the third year in a row. Brian Mullen and I.
My buddy, do you know Reed Simpson?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was him and Chelly is the one in Chicago.
Oh.
I think the Hawks actually they were one of the first NHL teams to, be part of Pride and the whole thing. Yeah, it's
good. Cool. Reed Simpson was tough too, wasn't he? He was a good player.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He played with the Devils too, right?
Played here in New Jersey. I knew him when I was in Albany. He was there, and he actually lives in Chicago because he finished up there.
Huh? Yeah. So Graves, Richter, and Colton Orr were there yesterday with Susan Brooks. John Brancy, the singer, he's a good singer. That guy, the bald guy that gets up and sings.
Did a good job. Yeah.
What
a weird game though, right? I mean,
I know. Yeah, the back and forth, right? Like one team would dominate for a while.
Yeah.
I got to tell you though, Shesterkin, I know him. This is breaking news, but he's so good. Like he's just so calm and relaxed, and like it's almost when a puck goes by him, you're amazed that it's scored.
Well, if you look at the goals, they're all deflection. I mean, one of them went off a skate, I think. Yeah, it's never going to be when he's squared up. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No, you can beat him 5-0 or anything like that.
What'd you think Heedle's game yesterday? Not much, right?
Not much, but you got to figure the first two were probably like he's really adrenalized, and now he's going to have to kind of get into the pace a little bit.
Yeah,
he'll be fine. His skill set's so high, I don't worry about him. Yeah,
I'll tell you what, I just love Trouba the way I know he's made some mistakes lately in that, but man, he plays a hard game.
He loses it a little bit.
Yeah, you can tell like the old elbow thing, like that one a couple of games ago, we were flying through the air and in the boards with the elbow. Like, what do you think?
I'm sure if you ask him why'd you do it, he goes, I don't know.
I know. That's what I love about him. Just go.
Yeah.
Hard
Lingering, they're going to run out of bubble gum. Keep that kid. He blocking shots. His face is all cut up.
He looks like he's got the cut on his face and everything like that. I bet you he likes it too, right? That
old school. Yeah,
definitely. So what are you doing for today? It's going to rain all day around here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of lousy out. My friend is
that's
over for like a little, indoor barbecue or whatever. Yeah.
Good, nice. What do you have? Do you know what you have?
DEFCON 4. Sophie, relax.
Sophie, what's happening? That's right.
Down.
Thank you, Susan, for bringing this up. Grayson.
Oh yeah. What?
Yeah.
We talk about mental health, and
I know
this kid had some mental health, and he was also had some substance abuse issues.
Right.
It's sad. I mean, 30-year-old kid. So
I know. And they're very open about. He was very open about talking about his problems too, right? It's tough. His parents had to come out and acknowledge that he took his own life.
I heard it. Dan Cronin said really sums up. It's a permanent solution for a temporary problem.
Yeah. Yes. And we don't hear nearly all like a fraction of the people that have taken their own lives.
It's sad.
Yeah.
It seems to be right now that mental health in this country, because of everything, COVID and all that kind of stuff, you just hear more of it. At least I do.
Yeah. I saw a great video. A guy had gone over to Japan and I guess the obesity rates in Japan are like 4%, where the obesity rates in the US are about 50%. What do you think? You think higher?
At least, yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
And he was talking about how in schools they don't let them eat any like French fries, hot dogs, all that kind of stuff. It's all the healthy foods that are prepared every day there. So obviously there's an additional cost, but it's more healthy. So they asked the kids what their favorite foods were, and they're saying like white rice or broccoli or all healthy foods. And he was kind of astonished, and he said to the translator, "That's amazing." And the translator was kind of confused, like, "Why is that amazing?" Because they're so ingrained at teaching the kids about eating healthy foods. I thought that was, yeah.
I think that's the only choice they have.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
If it's and look, you don't have to be really bright because I'm not, but if you look at the health and obesity rates in this country, and then you look at the processed foods, the timeline, they correlate. They're going right together. Straight.
You know what I've been hearing more and more? I'm sure you know this. A lot of pharmaceuticals come from oil products, right? Wow.
Yeah. Our country, there's only one other country that advertises pharmaceuticals on television. I don't know which one it is, but the United States is one of two.
Yeah.
And when you watch TV, like 3 out of 5 commercials are pharmaceuticals.
Right.
And then, if you start thinking about it, like if you watch the news, I won't say who to CNN, but they're sponsored by Pfizer.
Yeah.
So Anderson Cooper is making $20 million a year. It's probably being paid by Pfizer. So it just seems that there's a connection there between everything.
Well, I think it was around the Ronald Reagan era where before the doctors were running these pharmaceutical companies, and they did not want advertising.
Right.
That's not how they looked at it. And then the business people took over and they lobbied the Reagan because you weren't allowed to advertise pharmaceuticals on TV.
So the Sackler family who owned Purdue Pharma, which manufactured and sold Oxycodone or Oxycontin, and kicked off what led to fentanyl addiction issue throughout the nation. Those two brothers, one of them brought advertising to the pharmaceuticals to television. That's how he made his money, and that's how they bought Purdue Pharma years ago.
Right.
And my point is, it's a dangerous thing when you look at people, especially in our age bracket. Most of them are on 4 or 5 different medications.
I know. Yeah.
And we're very fortunate, thank God. But when I go to the doctor and I say nothing, they look at you like disbelief. How could that be possible? Yeah,
I know, right? And you wonder how much of that is necessary, too, right?
Well, I mean, it's questionable. At least that's my thing. It's questionable. I don't know any doctor that ever wrote a script that said walk a half hour every morning.
Yeah.
And
there you go.
Cut out sugar for a month.
Yeah, I know.
They just don't do it. And, they're educated to find an illness and give you a.
That's how they make their money, right?
That's not. Yeah.
William, I have a little technical difficulties. William Haynes, our magical veteran here on Memorial Day. Thank you. He's saying happy Memorial Day. Yep. Our train conductor. Let me see. Ira Matthews is asking, Mark, thoughts on those weight loss drugs, Ozempic, Wegovy?
My thoughts are like everything else. Why are you taking a drug when we know? I mean, there are some people that do need medical or pharmaceutical intervention, but by and large, in general, the people that are using it, like it's the newest fad. It's the newest thing, and they all end at some point where they find out, there's a side effect to this. It's really deleterious to you, or they don't. Whatever it is, just keep it simple. Get up, move, eat well, get enough sleep, get fresh air, get sunlight.
Well, and realize there's not going to be a quick fix either. It's not going to be like right away. It's over time that you get.
I've always said if you were the captain of an oil tanker and you found out you were off course by 180 degrees, you're not going to just turn left. It's going to be very slow, right?
Your brain just amazes me. Seriously, the way you think. Seriously. No, I mean that very true. Like, who would have thought? Compare it to an oil tanker.
Well, So I mean, but anyhow, unless it's that one that hit the bridge, you see how fast it went.
Yeah. Right into the bridge.
Yeah.
Susan Brooks is saying, perfect use of a timeout by Laviolette yesterday in the third period. Definitely seemed to work. Yeah, the guys were running out of gas. Mm-hmm. That's Susan, that's a very good point, because that is you have one timeout.
That's all you get.
Yeah, you get a 1-goal game. You got to make sure you use it the right way. Yeah. I'm totally fascinated by the whole Salt Lake City thing and the yeah.
Well, I don't know like how that works. So like you said, let's say you play for Salt Lake and you have 7 wives,
right?
And then you're traded to New York,
right?
I don't know if New York's going to allow,
right? But isn't that the beauty of it though? Isn't that the beauty of it though? You can keep the wives in Salt Lake City, and you go to New York by yourself.
Yeah, well,
you're almost asking for a trade at that point, aren't you?
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Oh God, I can think back when I was playing. If we had to feel, we'd all be going asking for a trade to Salt Lake City.
Exactly. Well, why would you want that many wives?
I know. You say that, right? I have a hard time with one of them. Yeah.
You need a lot of energy, that's for sure.
I know. What do you get? Yeah,
and if you're playing hockey, what are you home 1-2 nights a month?
Right. But that whole process just amazes me. Okay, so you marry one. You don't marry 7 at one time, right? You marry one, but then you have to go. There's a dating process. So you're married to one woman, and now you're dating another one.
Now, how does that work too? Because let's say you're going to get married. Married, and it's wife 5.
Right.
Now, am I going to like all these weddings and shelling out money to you all the way, or I just say, no, this is good for this is covered you for 5 wives?
Good point. Yeah. Right. Then what about the honeymoons? So are the current wives going with you on the honeymoon with the new wife?
Did you? Now you were married twice. On either one of those, when your first night together, did you get the honeymoon salad?
What's the honeymoon salad?
Lettuce alone.
Lettuce alone. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That was very nice. Did you come up with that, or did you heard?
No, I had an uncle who he had all those old.
Oh, that's funny.
Dad.
I've never heard that one.
They were funny.
You know, you think you've heard just about every joke out there, and then you let us alone. That's good. Now, I don't know, for some reason, in both cases, we went to Florida. We were in Miami, the first honeymoon, and then the Keys for the second. I like Key West. Is actually very nice. I like that.
So I've only been married once, and the wedding day, I was a little nervous. So I went to the gym, and I was doing some tricep stuff, and I set the dumbbell down, and got a little bit of the anatomy when I set it down between my legs. So I had a difficulty walking down the aisle. And that night, the wedding night, my wife then had a terrible migraine. So then we fly to Antigua, and we go to the room. There's 2 different separate beds.
Okay.
So I went to I said, listen, we're on our honeymoon. Oh, okay. So we went out of there, then come back. They just took the beds and pushed them together.
Nice.
And then she got this rash from a tree down it. So anyhow, long story short.
oh God.
It didn't. The honeymoon really wasn't what it's supposed to be. I had a great time.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah,
but, I mean,
sounds like a name. Yeah. So Ira Matthew is asking a question here. Tom, not sure why I'm asking you a defensive zone coverage question. You know the answer, but it seems like Florida was circling the net, coming around the other side, backhand to follow the puck corner of watch or switch. Oh, it's switch. Okay. What I was getting at here. So you're in the defensive zone. Offensive player goes behind the net, and they're circling. So you see this mistake a lot of times. People always are chasing the guy where the scoring area is not. So basically, the scoring area is like they call it the house. So it's you draw lines to the circles and then across the top, and that's basically the scoring zone. You can be a little bit farther. So really, like when you're in your zone, like if you're, let's say, 5-on-5, it's really a 5-on-6 defensively because your goaltender is part of the play as well. Right. So you've got to say, okay, he's going to take any bad angle shots. So, yeah, you don't want to chase behind the net. You want to make sure there's coverage in front of the net first. Like Wayne Gretzky was one of the best. They called it his office. He's behind the net. So you don't chase him there. You make sure that he can't score from there. If he scores from there, that's a goaltender's fault. So that's a great question, but that's one of the things now with the game today. And again, not a criticism. It's a different style of play. So when we played, our job as defenseman was to hit people, clear out the front of the net, move the puck quickly. Now, like at Fox, for example, that's not his job. His job is to get the puck out of the zone as quickly. That's how they play defense now.
Pickpocket.
Yep. So that's a great question. So and there's a lot of talk has to go on too. Like if a guy's behind the net, you got to be yelling at each other. You got him. Don't go. I haven't got my man. That kind of stuff. So it's
a little bit more free. Like I was taught. I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I think it is. Below the dots is 3-on-3. Stay with your guy.
Yep.
And the only time a forward would crash in, it becomes a 2-on-1 on a D-man. If it's a 1-on-1, let them battle it out.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. Sounds kind of, we joke around about it, but we say I've got my man, and that's really the way it is. Like you can't listen if a guy just clearly loses his man, and you have to go help him, or else it's going to be a scoring opportunity. You have to. Otherwise, you got to trust, especially at the NHL level, that everybody's going to do their job. So
I was always told if you're not standing next to somebody from the other team,
Yeah.
you're not in the right spot.
Totally. Yeah. And being on the right side of them too. You saw the one goal. I can't remember which it was. I think it was that Barkov's goal. Got on the wrong side of Trocheck. Now, in fairness to Trocheck, he's not a defenseman, but he was down in front of the net. So it's really being in a position. And again, you can't clear out guys like you used to be able to. So it's really more playing the stick now. Making sure you hit the stick.
And one thing that Rempe, I'm surprised they haven't told him, stop going on a forecheck. Go in front of the net. Because when you go behind, now you're 200 feet away from the play.
Yeah.
And he did that 2 or 3 times.
You wonder, I kind of wonder, and look back at our games, we'd be playing mistakes. Isn't it funny, like you watch the game today and you say, oh, geez, they shouldn't be doing that. That's a mistake. And then you go watch your game and you go, oh, okay, we made it.
But some things just remain the same. I mean, right?
Yeah, hockey's not that complicated a game, really. People talk about, like guys like Mike Babcock wanted to pretend he's like this brilliant coach.
Like nuclear physics,
Yeah, I know. On the Florida, so Susan says there was a Florida goal. All the Rangers went to once. Yes. Yeah. That is, and again, that's always been like that. Like sometimes in those big games, one goal game, there's a tendency to do too much, right? It's better, especially in your own zone, to do less. Like let your mind do more of the thinking instead of your legs doing all the skating. So.
I think some of it is a mindset too.
Yeah.
For me, and it's just I was around. When our team got scored on, I was pissed.
Yeah.
When we scored, I was like, that's nice.
Yeah,
but when we got scored on, I was really pissed.
Yeah, I know. You take it personally, especially if you're a defensive player,
Because I've always felt that if they score more than 2, not going to be a good night.
Yeah.
If we keep the other team to 2 or less goals, we're going to win more than we lose.
Yeah.
So when it's 2-0 in the first period, you're like,
yeah, I know. Yeah, isn't that true? Yeah. So tomorrow night they play again down in Florida, right?
Correct.
Game 4.
Yeah.
So man, that's gonna be you're trying to predict. Like these are the things with these games, they all could have gone either way. The Rangers could be up 3-0. Florida could be up 3-0. Right?
Yeah. It's funny too because you know how Tracy's always saying the F word about the Rangers?
Yeah.
So Beth was upstairs yesterday at the end of 2. She goes, I said, they're up 4-2, right? What's it? 4-4. Oh, sorry. You've been talking to Tracy?
I know, that's right. Susan Brooks, Rempe was in front of Babrinski blocking his view. Yeah. So in that first goal that Goudreau's first goal, Rempe did a good job. Right. See, that's the kind of stuff that you don't necessarily see all the time. Susan points
show
out.
up on a score sheet.
Yeah. And then Japan had and Kreider too. That's the same with them. Now everyone looks to them to score goals, but they can still be doing things to contribute to the win, even if they're not scoring goals. You still need them there. You can't count on Goudreau scoring all the time. But
I mean, the top 3 we need more.
Yeah, Trocheck's really doing well. Panarin, I like Panarin's game better. Like last year, he was out of it. You could tell, but now
he was a little better yesterday.
Yeah,
the first 2 games.
Yeah, Susan Brooks is saying. Susan picks on me all the time. So I went to a couple of playoff games in the past that we lost. Now, we won some too. So Susan tells me, don't go. She doesn't want me to go. Tomorrow, I'll be in Brooklyn, New York at school.
Cool.
Yeah, we're doing a pep rally.
Oh,
those are fun to go to. The kids really get into it and everything. Yeah. And then on Wednesday night, I'll be at Chase Bank has a short little marathon at the Central Park at 72nd Street on the west side. Mm-hmm. So I'll be at that as well. That's fun. Our girl from the Rangers, Taylor Harmon, will be running in that as well. Taylor's little sweet. She was the one that videoed me dancing with Dancing Larry. And I said to her,
how do you feel about running?
Well, I hate that because then I have to eat differently, right? So like stop that from happening.
You're a little bit too big to run.
Yeah, I don't run. Running across the street now. I hate to admit it, but there are times there's some things you do. You go, man, I'm getting old. Yeah, I hate to admit that though, but Danny Erickson says here, I told my son that Florida's dominating. Let's shock them and win this thing. Yeah, they dominate, but again,
it's really weird. I mean, it's horrible at times. They played yesterday, they won.
Yeah, I know. Like Larry Brooks is good. And he wrote an article today. He was pretty much saying that too. He says, I don't know how they did it, but they won. And it was very positive kind of thing to say, okay, well,
because then overtime was all Florida. And then when they had the face off, it said, here's a chance.
Yeah.
Because this is the only way they're going to get a chance is off of a face off play because it looks like Florida's just pounding it.
Yeah, I know. And you know what's good too? Like that Lafreniere, like you got to have those guys step up. And they've got a lot of guys that are capable of doing that. It was good to see him do that.
I think he's acquitted himself.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you can tell it's a mindset thing with him. He's just got the belief to do that. Like that's kind of a.
He can play.
Yeah. Yeah. He could see, and I mean, this is a very good way. He's getting a little bit of the arrogance to him too. Like, in a good way. Like he believes he's that good. Like it's no surprise to him that he does that. Definitely. Danny Erickson asked, is walking as good as running for exercise?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So there's all different ways we can do it, Danny. We could do sprints, which if I was going to run, that's what I would do. But the walking absolutely is one of the healthiest things you could do.
Yeah.
And it's great for your max VO2. You want to get to where you can carry on a conversation, but it takes a little bit of effort. If you're totally out of breath, you're out of that zone 2. And zone 2 is for overall health and body recomposition. That's where you want to be. So for the duration, if you can stay in zone 2, if you do an hour walk, it's excellent.
Right.
Even a half-hour walk.
And interval training is a great way to lose weight. And you can still do interval training when you're walking. Like, let's say you get telephone poles. You can walk quicker between one pole to the next, slow down. Yeah. The idea is getting your heart rate up and down, like Mark was saying. So. John Gottimer is saying to us, our power play has 5 potential Hall of Famers players. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's a good.
Fox seems like he's still not.
Yeah.
He's a little bit slow out back.
Yeah, there's something missing. He's hurt. I think we'll find out when the playoffs over with it. He's hurt. Yeah. But it's amazing still. He's still got that confidence with the puck or something. Like I'd be throwing it away in the corner or whatever, and he's hanging on to it. And,
he does hold it, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then we got Edmonton and Dallas in game 3 of that series tonight. Yeah. You know what's funny? It's no big deal. So this AI technology, so they get some press conferences, like they have Connor McDavid up and they change the voice, or they get his voice, but they do it so that he's saying something different than he really did say. Like he has the one video where he's saying, do I have to do everything around here? I'm getting out of here as soon as I can. I hate Edmonton. It's very funny to listen to it.
I saw one, I think it was Laviolette talking about Rempe. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Rempe's a cool kid too. Like he was talking about how he got a few shifts there in game 2 near the end. He's going, wow, that's pretty. I got shifts. He's laughing.
He's just having fun.
Yeah, he is true, isn't it? But a young player like that to have that kind of confidence to do that's pretty cool. Yeah. Let me see. What is the Susan Brooks? What do we got here? What is the best speed and incline on a treadmill while walking for a peak workout?
For walking for what?
For a peak workout.
Well, there's all different ways, but I would say if you really want to do something interesting, start at 0 elevation. Every 3 minutes, raise it up an elevation and increase your speed until you can't go any further, and then work yourself back down. So it's like a stairway.
Right. Yeah. So you can get the same workout outside that you can get on a treadmill, though, right?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. So like when I'm hiking, what I'll do, Tom, sometimes when I'm going up a hill, I'll go up backwards halfway, or for a while, and then forward and back and forward and back. I
tell you, I really recommend, especially if you live in the city, get the Central Park and walk around there and be outside. Like working out, like for your heart and all that is obviously very important, but also the being outside in the sun. Oh, here's the topic I want. So for years, people would say, well, if you're out in the sun, you risk getting melanoma. Mm-hmm. And I've seen a few videos where people are saying, well, the melanoma has gone up since we started using sunscreen.
Yeah,
that actually the sun is good for you.
Research on that, and they say you're not getting enough vitamin D if it's not coming into your eyes. You're not absorbing as much vitamin D as you could. Are you still there, Tom?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so there's conflicting research on that.
Right. Ira's being funny here. Who wins a skating race, Tom or Chuba? He looks slow. No, sometimes the speed gets overrated. It's like how are your angles? Like even once, like Nick Lidstrom, if everybody doesn't know him, one of the greatest defensemen ever played in Detroit. He wasn't a speedster. He was just smart, playing the angles right.
Also, when you're tall like you are, your stride's a lot longer.
Yeah, looks worse than it is. But. No, listen, I know people kind of pick on Chuba, and I get it. But when you're going to play a hard game like that, and they give him a lot of minutes, you're going to make mistakes. And I think it's that thing too where, so in this case with the Rangers, so the Ranger fans get to watch the Rangers all the time, so they can pick apart. It's a natural thing. You see the mistakes they make, then you get down on guys. But like if you watched Florida play, like you probably think, well, geez, Tkachuk's perfect out there. Well, if the Florida fans probably say, well, he does some things wrong out there too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can find fault in anybody's game, and
yeah.
So I heard a great expression the other day. They'll whisper your accomplishments, but shout out your failures.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot. Yeah, I've told this before. There's Beth with a magical creature. I've told, what's up, Beth? How are you?
Good.
So I told people this before, like watching the old games now, I get such a kick out of it because I look at myself like some of the stupid plays I make. Like I go to pass it to somebody and it's a grenade. But you know what I like is though, I've said this so many times, I'm learning more about myself and realizing, okay, that's just the way I've led my life.
You must have been doing something, right?
Yeah.
You played in the best league in the world for 11 years. So.
It's funny, but it is funny watching the mistakes and realizing, no, that's just the way I've lived my life. And writing the book was fantastic. Oh, here's another thing. So we've got the books all done. We're trying to get it on Amazon. They want to get you like they want to have your first child. Like they ask for social security numbers, bank accounts, and all that. I'm kind of leery because so I give them all that information. What if they get hacked into?
Well, Amazon would be safe,
Well, no, these big companies got hacked into.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could be.
Danny Harrison says fans are ragging on Miller, but I'm a fan of his. Yeah, Danny, you're not wrong. I'm telling you, he's going to be. He's shown that he's a good player. He will continue to be. He's going through. I think it's more of a mental thing with him right now. It's that
Absolutely.
it's like take charge. Like we'd love to sit down and say, listen, you're good. The fact is, you're going to make mistakes. It's a reality.
You took the words out of my mouth. I would tell him, don't be afraid to make a mistake.
Yeah,
because that's when you're going to just.
Yeah. It's what you do, like you mentioned before, what you do after the mistake. Don't ever dwell on it. Just immediately go and attack.
And that's how they were playing as a team a little bit yesterday. They were playing not to lose.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And that never worked.
Susan Brooks says, can't walk backwards in the city. Hard enough to walk forward in the city.
Yeah, well, you got a good point.
This is true. Yeah, but I don't know if you're close to Central Park or not, Susan, but if you get to Central Park, that's a great place. There's other parks too, but just to be outside. There it was. Oh, wow, he's fired up for Memorial Day. Tom, you make everyone's day, just like you made Beth's day. Oh, that's a good point, Barry. You know what? I've learned more and more that just like the 15 seconds or 5 seconds says, hey, how are you doing? You're looking gorgeous today or something. It means a lot to people. So you do have to be careful with women because sometimes they got you hitting on or whatever. But
well, it's how you present yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Ira Matthews. So if light weights and high reps are effective, would 1,000 meters M's and M? Oh, 1,000 M&M's. Oh, I was being silly. Tom here in Chicago. Street hockey is big here. Ever played street hockey? Yes. Yeah. As a kid during the summer, absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely. We used to play under the shop, right? They had like an underground parking thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that was well lit, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Is it made have the old wooden sticks they all get rubbed down like the blade would be like a
Your blade's about that thick.
That was actually proud of that, right? Because she played for a long time. All right, everybody. So it's Memorial Day again. And again, everybody have a fun time, with your family, eating and all that. But remember what the purpose of Memorial Day is, remembering and it's specifically for fallen military.
Correct.
So it's still okay to honor the people that are still alive.
Absolutely. Every day. But
And our point too is I think a lot of people do this. I think we're just more conscious of it on this particular day, but it's the thing that we can do 365 days a year.
This was only since 1971.
Oh.
Memorial Day,
Oh, really?
I think it used to be called Remembrance Day.
Yes. Yeah, I did do a little Google search on that, and I did say that. Yeah, I changed it. All right, everybody. So again, sad news about the golfer Grayson.
Yeah.
So it just reminds us, everybody, that we need to look out for each other. There's a lot of people that, and I've seen a lot of videos too where people like are laughing and joking around, and then 12 hours later they've taken their own lives. So we got to be aware of all that.
Never know.
But everybody have a fantastic.
How you doing?
Yes, that's right. Yep. Eat well, Mark. Are you eating healthy food today? You're breaking the diet a little bit, or what are you doing?
Probably healthy. I mean, my buddy's going to be kind of the same mindset. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good. Got family and everything? You say get kids? 3
boys. They adopted a girl from Korea.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I've always admired people that do that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, all 3 kids. The oldest son is a doctor. The middle guy works with him. The younger guy just is an attorney. And they all were hockey and rugby.
Oh, cool. Now, will you get together with your boys?
Well, my son Ty is in Chicago.
That's right. Yeah.
And Sean lives in New York, so probably not going to see him today.
Yeah, Memorial Day isn't as much of a family day. It still is a family day a little bit, but it's not.
It can be, yeah. You go to the parade and have a barbecue or whatever. And I think that's what talking about. You go to the parade, you're solemn, you remember, then you go home and you kind of celebrate the life you have because of what they did.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Everybody, again, that 988 hotline, the suicide prevention and mental health hotline, the shoulder check program. Make sure we're really helping each other out there. Okay, everybody have a fantastic day. I will see everybody on Thursday, and we can talk about Mark behind his back when he's there.
Okay. That's easy to do.
All right, everybody have a fantastic day.
Peace.